everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a more in-depth eyebrow tutorial. So in this video I only included the eyebrow portion of my makeup. I didn't include the rest of the face because I did make separate tutorials. So if you guys are interested on how I fill in my eyebrows, then just continue watching. So for the eyebrows, I usually use the Anastasia dipbrow pomade, and this one is the shade dark brown. And then I have recently started mixing it in with the Ardell medium brown brow pomade, which looks like this. It's a little bit more on the ashier side. The reason why I've been doing that is just because I made my hair lighter. With brows, if you have dark hair, you want to go 2 shades lighter, and if you have blonde hair or light hair, you want to go 2 shades darker. Well, for me it's kind of hard because of the fact that I'm not a natural blonde and I have dark eyebrows naturally. So for me, I just want to go a little bit more on the lighter side. If your brows are naturally blonde, then that's when you want to go 2 shades darker. But if your eyebrows are naturally dark, then you want to go 2 shades lighter. In my case, I'm going just a little bit lighter, so probably like 3 shades lighter, because of the fact that I have the blonde, so that way it balances out and doesn't look like I have these huge Sharpie eyebrows, and it looks just more natural and more believable. So whenever you're doing your eyebrows, to always make them blend in and look natural, I always recommend having a spoolie brush. This one is from Crown Brushes, but you can get it from, I know e.l.f. has them, and Morphe, as well as MAC and Sigma. Like any brush company makes a basic spoolie, eyebrow spoolie, and this one was naturally straight, but I like to bend mine just a little bit. That way it makes it easier when I'm blending in my eyebrows, and I'll show you guys how to use this later on. But before I put any eyebrow product, I always make sure to comb or brush through my eyebrows just to make sure the hairs are all going in the right direction. For the eyebrow pomade, I use a Crown brush, and this is the SS006 angled liner brush. Looks like this. I used to have a different Crown brush that was firm, and it was also skinny, which that's what you want to use for eyebrow pomades, just because it gives you more control and you won't put too much product onto the eyebrows. But unfortunately I lost the original brush, so I bought this one, and it was a little bit too thick. So what I ended up doing was taking some pliers and just kind of squeezing the barrel a little bit right here where the brush hairs meet, and that just makes it more on the skinnier side. So that way I have more control, because this brush was a very thick brush, but I liked the density of it. I like it to be firm but not super stiff, so kind of like in between. If it's too flimsy, I feel with brow pomades you just don't have as much control. So you want something that's firm, but you also don't want something that's super harsh that's going to rip out your eyebrow hairs. To start off with, I use the darker pomade. You don't have to use 2 brow pomades, that's just my personal preference. I just like the way that it looks, so I use the dark brown one. So I take a little bit of it and I just tap my brush into it. I don't put too much pressure in there because I don't want too much product. And if you do feel like you grab too much product, you can always wipe it off on the back of the cap. As you see, I've done that several times, and that just kind of helps you, so that way you have more control on how your eyebrows look. Putting too much product on at once can definitely make them look really harsh, which isn't what you want. I always start on the bottom brow, or the bottom of the brow, so I just go and just kind of outline or underline the brow. That came out a little messy, so I'm just gonna try to perfect that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the spoolie and I'm just gonna brush these hairs down, so that way I can really focus on drawing in that arch. So I grab a little bit more product, and I'm gonna avoid this part. From this part on to here, I'm gonna avoid that part of my eyebrow. The first quarter of my eyebrow, I'm gonna just leave that alone, and I'll show you guys what I do with that later. So from here on is where we're gonna focus on right now. Just kind of do the same thing, kind of outline how I want the eyebrow shape to be. I personally like a skinnier tail. And the reason I brush the eyebrow hairs down is because it makes it look more natural. Because once I have that drawn on there, then I just take the spoolie again and brush my hairs back up. Then I take whatever product is left on the brush, start filling in the outer part of my eyebrow. And then I just take the spoolie. I like using the tip of the spoolie to blend everything in. That way I have control. I think the issue with eyebrow pomades is a lot of people think that they don't have control with the product. So just learning how to have control with it will really make it a lot easier. Alrighty. So that's the first half. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the medium brown shade and I'm gonna use that to fill in the first half of my eyebrow. So do the same thing, just lightly press that in, and you can kind of see the marks that it leaves. There have been times obviously where I pressed it way too hard and grabbed a lot more product than I wanted, but like I said, just wipe off the excess on the cap. So you just tap it onto the cap and that'll remove the excess. So then what I do is I take my eyebrow brush and I just kind of start flicking it upwards. I lay it on my eyebrow horizontally at the bottom of the eyebrow and just start flicking that product upwards. And then I kind of go diagonally, fill that in as well. Then I take it vertically. And as you see, I didn't grab any extra product. This is all the product that's already on my brow and the product that was on the brush. And then me personally, I like to connect this part to the rest of the eyebrow. Alright, so it should look something like that. Then I take the spoolie one more time. Like I said, just taking the tip of it and just comb that product upwards. And then what I do, because I personally don't carve my eyebrows out all the time, I just take the tip of it, and if I've gone down too far, I just take it, and it's a little rough on the eyebrow, or on the eye area I should say, but I just take it and just kind of clean it off. I personally like more of a natural looking brow, so that's why I don't carve my eyebrows. The only time I ever do that is when my eyebrows need to be done, but I just recently got them threaded, so I don't need to do that right now. And then once you have your eyebrow to your liking, I just take a little bit of brow gel. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Clear Mascara, and mine is a little dirty from using it and mixing it in with the eyebrow product. And then I just kind of go upwards. And then above the eyebrow, those little hairs that are sticking up, I just kind of comb them down. That way it makes the eyebrows look more natural, but at the same time they don't look too fluffy. Because I kind of like it to look in between. And then once it sets, that's pretty much it. That's how I personally fill in my eyebrows. I think you guys can definitely see a difference. But this technique will work for anyone. If you don't have as thick eyebrows, you just kind of have to play around with it and learn what your shape is. But definitely try this technique, and just always remember, especially when it comes to makeup, start off with a little bit and then work your way up, because you don't want to put on too much product and then have a hard time blending it out or making it look more natural. So I'll go ahead and finish the other eyebrow and then finish the rest of my makeup. So I finished with the rest of my makeup as well as filling in the other eyebrow, and this is what the eyebrows look like with a full face of makeup. I hope you guys did enjoy this, and if you guys are interested in learning how to do this eye makeup look, I will link it down below for you guys. And until next time, I'll see you guys then.